Hello, everyone. This is Benjamin. Today I'm going to be streaming on League Chess instead of chess.com. I was having some issues with chess.com, and I tried going back to it when I wasn't streaming, and I was still having the same issues. So I know it's not the I know it's not how I put it. I know it's not the streaming part. It's just chess.com itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. As my Chromebook's not it doesn't have the last updates to it, so all right. Okay. I like the wing gambit. It's pretty interesting. I think there's a way I can make this bigger, but I forget how to do it. Just take, usually takes back, and I just go here. Most wing gambit usually plays a3 at some point or something. I don't do that. I use my knight, and sometimes I go a4 instead. I like bishop a3. It's taking it, but he probably hasn't seen this before. He probably just took it just to take it. Most people just go back to e7. Yeah, I just attacked the bishop again. He just gave me a very nice strong center right off the beginning. It's not much of an advantage, but it's still nice to have. This bishop might have issues developing. I usually like going here for the purpose of bringing my queen out and attacking this way. I don't like placing my bishop on the outside over here on these two squares. The reason being is that this square here, it's not really attacking much of anything because there's a wall of pawns. And over here, he might, if I try to take it, he'll take back and it'll help his pawn structure. So definitely not interested in that. Let's see here. I'm going to castle eventually. So I just castle now. He doesn't have any immediate threats, something I'm supposed to be doing immediately. All right. Now, the only thing is that if I take it, he can take it back with the bishop. And then these pawns are kind of a little loose. So I'm going to play a3 here just to prevent that. I don't want my pawns getting loose. I don't want these pawns loose. I want it supported. And I want to eventually bring my knight in to support this pawn. So I like my pawns to be supported very well. Come here. Come here. Let's see. I think this is better. Sometimes I do bring my knight out, my queen here, but I don't like it in this situation because this is half open file. And if he places his rook there, and he takes this pawn, I won't be able to take back because my queen will be in danger. So I'm trying to think of a different way to get my setup going. This is where I normally like to place it, but unless I move the bishop back first and then the queen up, that might be okay. Just making sure I'm not wasting moves here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . My rook should go here. This knight can come down this way and either come up. And when you move your knights, you have to think about where he's going afterward. You're not just moving them one place and one place, one place. Like the goal would be to bring them here or here. That would be the goal. One of these two squares. He's thinking an awful long time for some reason. All right. I'm going to assume he has the actual plan and that he's not just moving around, especially taking that long. It's very possible he's thinking about a break. Should I go first? Let him take. I can take with my knight. I'm not sure if that would be good for me or not. I mean, actually, I think it looks like it would be good for me. His king's in the center, so breaking everything open in the center would be good for me. I was thinking about finishing my development first, but then he can easily just maybe move his knight. Well, then he can just castle. Yeah, so I should probably do it now. If I can stop him from castling, that would be very good. So difficult to know exactly when to prepare for a move versus when to just move. Because sometimes preparing for moves are not the best, especially if you have a good attack right away. All right, he's getting ready to castle. If he were to castle now, there's nothing I can do about it. I move my bishop. He castles. I take. He takes. I'll be forking the queen and the rook. So I should set that up if he decides to castle. And if he takes here, I'll just take back. And I guess it's okay. My pawn's a little split up, but I think overall it's okay. The only thing is I haven't been doing anything with my knight back here, so my attack better be pretty good. You're going to bring the other knight in. Possibly here. I can actually bring him here for check if he wants to be slow about his attack or his moves. Okay, he's getting ready to castle and he's protecting the square that I'm attacking. Makes sense. Yeah, everything's together, so I wasn't able to really rattle him and cause a huge issue, but everything seems together, so it's not a problem at all for either of us. Yeah, he hasn't really made anything difficult for me yet, and I'm hoping to keep pressure on him so he doesn't have a chance to even try. Okay. Expected. If I take, he can take either way. I can wait for that. That'd be really good for me. I'm going to try a cheap trick. I don't think it's going to really work, but if nothing else, it might mess up his pawn structure a tiny bit. I mean, he can just start trading off my knights and prevent it from happening, so. But the idea is that would be a checkmate if that were to happen. The way to avoid it is then to go up is just simply to take the knight. Be surprised how many people don't see cheap tricks, so there's nothing wrong with checking them out. Check. Check. Don't really have anything after that. He has this escape score still. All right, let's go chip away over here. Okay, not a bad idea. If I move up, I missed defended three. Oh, it's attacked 3 times and defended twice. So that's bad for me. So even if I capture this way, he can just start attacking here. So it might be better if I call check and then take. Not really sure though. But I definitely can't leave my queen here because of all the attacking that all these pieces right here. I definitely can't leave my queen here, regardless. I mean, I'll be trading a minor piece to my for a rook, which isn't very good. That isn't very good. But the center will be open, and I have both my rooks right here, and the king will be in the center. So it might be okay. It might be okay for me. Only because it's technically not good to give up 2 minor pieces for a rook. It's usually not considered that good. But in this situation, I think because the king is going to be exposed in the center, and I have both my rooks back here and my queen here for attacking, it might be actually good for me, even though it's not considered normally good. And he can't take it because he's pinned. And he might take here. I can call check. And I feel that I do feel like I have a good attack. Okay. Check. He can take with the queen or the king. I can take this way. This is really hard to calculate, but sometimes you just gotta play by instincts. Doesn't really matter which way. He might not take it at all. He might just move his king over too. I gotta be worried about this. So I might try hitting this pawn this way. I only got 2 minutes left on the clock, so I'm just trying to think of ways to attack him. And if he blunders, then I win. And if he doesn't blunder my attack, then I'm probably just going to lose. But definitely not going to play it safe. Okay. Let's see. All right, this right here is going to attack the queen and the pawn. He's probably just going to take. If I move out the way, he's going to checkmate me. It's a counterattack. So I'm just going to ignore it and not move. How do I want to do this? I mean, there's a few squares that might be okay. He can't take it because the pin. So this square, maybe here. And this one hits the pawn too. So I mean, he can't block it off this way, but I'll just find somewhere to put it. Even if he tries to make a queen, I don't think he can because his pieces are back here a bit. So I should be able to attack it before he makes progress. Should be able to. Well, he's not my target. My target is blocking and then forking. He thought his king was a target. If I make it complicated enough, he'll start losing more time as well. I don't know, he was up on the clock on me by 2 minutes, but he's, definitely making him think. This rook also can come in for a check. Okay, he blocks both of my ideas with that. And he's also renewing his checkmate. I'm just going to move the pawn up one. I don't want to accidentally miss that in a couple of moves. All right. Let's see here. I can go here. It's protected. And it keeps control over this rank over here. Or file. These are ranks. Yeah. I don't like putting him in the corner like that, but not much of a choice. I could have taken it with the queen, but I want to open this up for my rook. I already have this here. So now I have possibility of more. All right. I'm going to... He can try to be sneaky, but I can call a check and then move my queen out the way. Or even start check this way. Either way, same thing. I'm going to start this way. Keeps in the light squares. He's up in material. I'm up in time. I just got to make sure it stays complicated. That's all I really have to do. If I can maintain the complications, he will lose on time. Now, if I go here and he attacks, my rook and my queen will be in trouble. I can go here, but he can go over. I can at least come back this way. He can't move forward. Only 3 squares. He blocks. I can attack him. And it's a check. If I take this way, it forces him to capture, and the material will be even. I'm definitely going to do this. Perfectly fine for me. Make sure my king has luff. That means an escape. He wants to trade, that's fine. We gain 5 seconds each move, so maybe trading wasn't the best thing for me. When you have pawns on both sides of the board, bishops are better than knights. And in this case, that's the case. I just have to make sure my king blocks his king. That's pretty much all I have to do. And he can't come in here or here because the pawn and the knight. So that's something that I have going on. Just right here, he can go to. I have to basically move my knight back. Okay, he is blocking his own king from doing anything. His king can't go anywhere now. Yeah, this isn't very good for him. I take it. And here I get this pawn. I'm pretty sure I can queen before he can. No, he's going to queen first. Oh, the bishop. Yeah, I made a mistake in that. All right. That wasn't super bad. It was not super bad. I definitely seen where. All right. Like the Pierce or the Perk, however you pronounce it. Okay, that's a little weird. I usually play c6 at some point. This just makes it a little easier for me. And I like to expand my queen side when I castle king side. So he kind of helped me out a little bit with that. So I guess that's a good start for me. I have a bit more space than normal. If I normally like to play bishop to g4 here, but I usually wait until after castling. I don't do it until after castling. Okay, now I do it. And in this position, to make the knight completely useless, I like to play e5. I don't always do this move because it blocks in my bishop as well. But in this situation, his knight becomes basically almost useless. And this pin doesn't matter because I overprotect it. And then I can move my queen out. So it doesn't matter. Now I can move my knight if I wanted. I can move my pawn if I wanted. I usually do my knight. I feel like my pawn's better here. For some reason, I feel like he moves knight out the way and try to push for support. I don't like it. Okay, now where do I want my rook? Do I want it over here or do I want it up here? This, if I move it up one, I might be able to swing it over. And if I put it back here, it will be to help one of my pawn pushes. So I decide basically what I want to do. I would have to move my knight out the way, then my king, then my pawn. That's a lot of movement. And my knight will be in a really weird spot. Or I can leave it. This pawn isn't good to move because the bishop. So if I move it, it'd be here. And you can block it in. So this right here seems more promising for an actual attack. The other way doesn't seem like it's really all that guarantee. Even though it's a lot of moves, it's better than not having any attack. Now these both are hitting here, so it might be difficult to push. I can bring my knight here, but I can't bring it around because this pawn will be attacked. All right. Let's say if he attacks it. Well, it wouldn't matter because if I move him out the way, it'll be pinned. So it'll be fine. Okay. I feel like this is a better move. If he takes, I take back. If he doesn't take, I can push. But if I push, I'm not going to be able to play f5. Do I want f5? No, I don't. Not here. I guess I'm not doing it. So if I push this up, I don't see an attack right now. But if I go here, he can't take because I'll move back and his piece would be pinned. So I'm going to attack his bishop. Trying to bait him, make a bad move. Okay, he doesn't take it. And now this pawn is going away. And now I can play here and I get my open F file that I've wanted this whole time. That was a lot of work. A lot of work. All right. I'm not gonna push. I can, but I want things more open. I feel like I have the open file. I can dump my rooks. He can actually go here to block it and actually trade everything off. Looks like that's what he's going for. And start attacking this way. He doesn't have a light square bishop, so I'm not worried about my weak squares. But his queen can actually land here, which can be bad. Yeah, if he has queen gets here, that would be pretty bad. He played pretty well so far with his structure. Yeah, now if I take, if he calls check, I can't move up. Because if I do, he can call check again, and I'm really bad situation. So when I take, if he calls check, I have to go back. So he's set up his own attacks now. He didn't do it, so I thought that was his purpose. He probably still can spot it, and he has. All right. I guess I'll go back. He can go here. And if he calls check and I move up, he can call check. And he can do perpetual. So if I start winning, he can make it a draw. All right, he went there. Hopefully I can generate an attack. Everything is so even. It's really hard to see anything that's going to generate an actual win. He actually defended really well on everything. Yeah, I don't see a way to make progress here. And if I try too hard, you can simply just call it check and just do perpetual. So I have to figure out what to do. What to do. I think I think I can win this. All his pawns are split. Yeah, I think I can win this. This bishop can just stay back here defending the 2 weak points. Unless he just moves his bishop back and forth, he can do that. I can use my bishop to attack this way. He might try this pawn break. Check. Yeah, he actually might try that pawn break. And he does. I don't have to take. I can actually just push. If he takes, I take back. These two are protected. My pawns. So the king can't come in. The king would have to go all the way around. He would have to go all the way around. And this pawn won't be here. So this will block him off as well. So I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Yeah, because this pawn's protecting here, and this bishop will be protecting here. So it would all be blocked off. That would prevent his bishop from coming in. And he can't come in here or here because the pawns. He can't go here because the pawn, and he can't go here because of my bishop. I'm going to keep it here. He's going to call it check. He still may try to bring his king in. But if he goes any farther down, I can just start pushing my pawn. I just got to make sure that I angle my bishop correctly because of his. Because of the square here. I just got to make sure my bishop is ready. I need to keep this protected. Wow. I gotta keep this protected. But it takes a lot of time before he can come over here, though. But if I move back, he can go here, and he'll have control of the square. So his king can come around. But then I'll be able to move this pawn. So I have to have control over his square. Okay. I think that's okay. I think that's all right. I don't have too much time to calculate all these moves. Okay. If I take, he takes. There's no guarantee, right? If I take here, if he goes back, I'll just make a queen very easily. All right. He can't catch it. If I take and he takes, I can try to block. Yeah, I think I win. I think I win either way. Because this pawn is free to go. He has to stay a heap behind his that pawn. I didn't consider this pawn though. Yeah, if he comes down here, this pawn's free to go. So it should be a draw. If he goes down, I go over. Try to keep opposition. Not sure how accurate opposition is here, but okay. It's a draw. Definitely want to see if it was worth doing. What do I push? Okay. Oh, I already did it. Okay. Ooh, a lot of blunders. So I was winning. I was supposed to push. That's what I was supposed to do. And he was supposed to chase after it. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, then I have this. Okay, I didn't see that. All right, I definitely have to. I thought it was a draw. All right. I kept thinking about a draw so much that that's all I was looking at. All right. That was a good job for him. Let me try one more game. One more game. All right. All right. It's gonna come in that way. I'll just do the perk setup. It appears. This is the King's Indian attack, I believe, isn't it? Kind of looks like it a little bit. I think the pawn is usually here, though. It's supposed to be here to support this. So, not sure what step that is. I usually trade off my late square bishop in this opening. It's usually like too many pawns in the way, usually, for some reason. It looks like he might be trying to come this way. That's fine with me. If he trades my bishop, basically what I would have to do, because I have two knights versus a knight and bishop, is make sure that all pawns on one side is traded off. Because a bishop and a versus a knight on the end game, if there's pawns on both sides, usually the bishop is better. All right. If I take, he can come in. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I will let him come this way though, because I can just kick him out. All right, so he's going to do that. Kind of expected a little bit. Now I actually can see something here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to attack that bishop yet. But I definitely have to make sure there's no... I got to take out one set of pawns on one other side of the board. Okay. If he wants to trade, that's fine. I'm just going to trade all the pawns on one side of the board because a bishop versus a knight in the endgame is probably what I'm going to head towards. So I want to make sure there's not pawns on both sides. It's not bad. I can come in here. Now if I go here, he can defend it and then maybe push. I gotta find out if that's good for me or not. No, I don't think it is. It's a little odd. A little odd. I'm going to see how far I can push this pawn so I can anchor rook in here somewhere. I mean, because if he trades, then I have a possibility to have my rook up this way. And my queen here. He'd have to move his king out the way to bring his rook over. So I'm not sure why he did that. All right. That's very simple. And if he tries to bring his queen in, I can just push the pawn up one. Yeah. And there's nothing to worry about. I mean, I can even block it this way, but then again, he can try that. So He went for a really cheap checkmate. I mean, I can eventually bring it back here to attack this pawn, so that's fine. Doesn't really change much of anything. I can still attack this pawn. And he's not, I don't see a way to defend it besides taking my knight. Okay. Pretty sure I can come in this way. Now, if I leave that alone, he can anchor that in. If I take, I also can push. Okay, so I have capture, capture, push, or something else entirely different altogether. Now this will be bad because this rook will have nowhere to go. So ignoring it and trying to come here would be bad. I can take, if he takes back. That would be bad because of a pin. It'd be check, and he'll be taking a rook. I can go over, and if he pushes, I can just bring my rook back. Yeah, I think I'm going to just move over one. Get out of this weird-looking pin. I don't need to open everything up in the middle of a possible pin and attack, so may as well be a little bit safe. Now, this pawn's a backward pawn. Like, if I take here, it's a backward pawn. And it can probably be attacked pretty easily. And I might end up losing it. Well, my king's here too. But then again, a little vulnerable. I'm going to take it with the pawn. I don't want to leave it backwards. I want to go here, but I can't because of this. So this is going to defend here and bring this in. Double attack on here. And if I move up, it's defended. So I probably should. And then I'm going to try to bring the rook over, unless he brings this rook over. Okay, he did, so I can't do that now. Yeah, if I'm like king over, it'd be checkmate. I move this rook back, that'd be check. Well, it won't be checkmate because my queen's defending it. But he can bring his rook over to block the defense. There's a lot of ways I can lose here. A lot of different ways to lose. And I don't see a way to make progress either. I was worried about the backward pawn, so I took care of that. I didn't see any of the other stuff. Not entirely sure what to do here. I mean, there's nothing he can do right now in this situation, but I don't see any way to go forward. So I'm just basically waiting. Is what I'm doing. Now that I move the queen out the way, I can actually move over and not be checkmated, and then I can possibly, without, that'd be really bad. And that'd be bad. So I still can't move my rooks around the way I want to. And if I move the queen down, he can take. Well, if I move the queen down, he can just take the pawn. I'll move out the way. He can take this pawn. I just gotta wait and make sure my waiting move isn't a bad one. All right. Think this move isn't bad. He can actually bring his rook around and take my pawn and start marching his pawn up. All my pieces are tied down. Maybe go here first, and then no, because this will be captured. Out the way. I go here. That would be check. I can block. But if he's here, I can't block because I'll end up losing my queen. Everything's tied down. Tied down. How to get out of this? This is tough. This is really, really tough. Now if he comes down, I can just take it with my king. But I have to move my rook first because if I move my queen, he'll just take my rook. So this was a better square. So I kind of wasted 2 moves. All right. He's going for this pawn instead. Maybe. If I go here, he takes it. That would be a checkmate. But this should be fine. Now it is. I think it is. I thought he was going to try to come around and attack this pawn and make a queen. But that right there kind of helped me out a little bit. It blocked off the attack right here. But he still has a good chance. He just take. All right. So he's hitting here and here. So this right here defends the pawn and my rook. I feel like a lot of maneuvering in a very amateur way. Like I'm trying to play like, I think this is where people try to play professional like almost, but it's not there. Take. But if I can call it check and then bring my rook, my queen in for check, and he can come out, I should be able to checkmate him. Because the king is basically unprotected. And this is too far away from the king, unless the king comes up. And he can go here. Then I can go over here and call it check. And this is, yeah, that looks, I might be, if he takes this pawn, I might be okay. I might be okay. Okay. I'm going to go for it. I have 2 minutes, so I don't have time to calculate all the lines. I'm just going to try for a counterattack. I'm losing on time. I'm being squeezed. If I continue that way, I'm probably going to lose the game with a blunder or being squeezed on time. So I figure the only chance I have is this right here. This is the only chance I have. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. I think that rook move right here a long time ago saved me when he put it in front of his queen. But I won't know until the game's over. And him taking my pawn. I think there are 2 mistakes that he made that allowed me to have some type of say. This is a check. He can't go here because I can take with the queen. If he goes here, I can call check. He has to move over. Rook. I don't think I have it. I don't think I have it. Yeah, I don't think I have it. Because it's check, he'll come over. This right here, he'll just move the rook over. I don't have a follow-up after that. Check. And take this pawn. Yeah, I'm just going to take the pawn. All right. He'll go back. Is that a perpetual? I can take the rook back. I might hit perpetual. I'm low on time, so if I have it, I'll go for it. At least I get my rook back if it doesn't work out. But I think I have a perpetual, so I didn't look for any counterattacks. So if he has something, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know. I mean, this right now is a check with the rook. So if he takes it, I can actually call check and take the rook this way, or I can call check and force him back to take with a check. I prefer taking with a check. So, and if he doesn't take it, I'm not sure what he's going to be doing. Because this would be check. He'll come over, check. He'll come over. Now I'll just repeat it. That's another perpetual. Okay. Take. Yeah, I don't have a way to win, so I'm. Isaiah goes back and forth. I might actually have something. Check here. The rook come over. I might have something. You know what? I'll go for something. I mean, I definitely have a perpetual. Hopefully, I don't lose trying this, but I see a checkmate pattern, so I don't know if it's going to work in a situation, but I'm going to try for it. So with the rook right here, check and checkmate. He can block it with the queen right now. And I can maybe take the pawn and try to figure something out. But I do have a checkmate pattern. Okay, he blocked it. That's really bad. Doesn't this allow me to do the same thing? I think this right here would be checkmate. Yeah, it's definitely checkmate. Yeah, checkmate patterns are super, super important to memorize. All right. All right, that's my last one for today. But that was definitely I almost went for a draw. I can't believe that, but definitely seen it. So all right. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned a little bit of something, and I'm definitely I like watching my videos so I can go back to see my thought process on them as well. Because I usually analyze them, look at my blunders and stuff, go back to the video and see why I thought what I thought so I know what to study. So all right, thanks for watching.